Great. Well, welcome again. And I'm a little bittersweet this morning because I've so enjoyed my 8 weeks here and the month before that and the month before that. So in less than a year, I've spent 4 months with you. So thank you for sharing your love and weaving me into the fabric of your community. And I'm so excited about now and what's coming in the future for this community. You know, as COVID has lifted clearly by all the festival experiences I've had, you know, all that's in the past, right? And there's lots of new things that Dr. Maya is working on, new groups to use the building and share the space and really take, build on the great love that's already here, that you have all held the space for and kept nurtured and nourishing. And it's beautiful space here. I love it. I'm going to miss all of you. I'm going to miss this space. Well, hey, let's talk about our talk today. Our talk today is more on spiritual development. And I specifically wanted to talk about modern mysticism, as we just did with the lighting of the candles. We're honoring the mystical tradition across all faith traditions. And, it kind of made me wonder about this. So I decided to take a deep dive today with you. So do you remember the talk maybe last week or the week before, we talked about Michael Beckwith, the leader of Agape, and he came up with these really nice, simple way to think about phases of our spiritual awareness, growth in spiritual awareness. And he said, these aren't really stages necessarily, they're forms of consciousness, because we experience all of them every day, right? Rarely do we just stay in one, right? We're rotating constantly. The first one is the victim to me. Life's happening to me. Damn it, I stubbed my toe, or, oh, that hurts, like that's something hopefully you don't experience every day. But how many of you had something in the last day or two? You're like, oh, yeah, that darn thing again, right? That's to me. Life happened to me. And, you feel like powerless. And then another one, the next stage up would be by me. And this is where you take responsibility and you start using your spiritual tools and you start manifesting things, right? You start your desires, your goals, informed by the divine spirit. But you are noticing that you have the power to create the life you want with health and well-being and abundance. So this would be the manifester. And instead of having life happen to you, it's happening by you. Then, and this is where you're gaining control, right? You're manifesting your life. The next stage, though, you're giving up control, right? Just when you thought you got it mastered, now you gotta give it up. What's that about? Well, that's about the through me stage, where you are a channel or an expression of God or the divine, or however you think about it. And that's a lot of unity language, as you might have noticed in the daily word, is around that, right? I'm aware of the divine flowing through me. I'm bathed in the beauty of the cosmos. I invite in the cosmos into my heart. Those are beautiful, and I love that. We're a channel and expression is a beautiful way to think about it. But it also implies subtly that there is a separation between the cosmos or divine or greater power and you as a person, as an ego, as a self, right? So it's all beautiful, but you're still separate. That's okay too. That's okay. And a lot of our language is around that. That's okay too. There's nothing's wrong with any of this stuff. Like I said, I cycle through this stuff every day. And then so there's to me, by me, through me. And I think one of the biggest challenges of all to stay in for any length of time is as me. All right, as me. Not only did I give up control in the through me stage, but now I'm giving up the total idea of separation. God as me as God. Wow. What does that mean? Oh, this is where the modern mystic comes in. To give us some clues. What does that mean? How do I be if I'm being in the as me form of consciousness? So mystics are found in all the faith traditions. Sufism, Taoism, I mean, all of them, Buddhism, Hinduism, all the ones we light candles to. And what are they? Well, mystics share, as people, they share a deep connection or union with the sacred. Or like being in prayer all the time. Walking with the divine, in the divine, as the divine, in every moment. Right? That's wow. Right? How often have you felt moments like that in the last day or two, where you felt just maybe a glimpse, maybe in meditation, or when you first got up in the morning, or when you saw something beautiful, maybe, you know, if you look at those flowers, you might be able to access. For me, nature takes me there. Like if that's my vehicle, you know, is to connect. But some people it's prayer, you know, or seeing their children or their grandchildren. So this as me stage is where the modern mystics and ancient mystics reside. But who are some of these modern mystics? Who are our examples? Yes, Dr. Maya or the Fillmores, right? They were, I wouldn't call them necessarily contemporary, but who are the people living today? Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, how about Pema Chodron, about Joan Halifax. Now shout out some more. Who are your favorite alive today? I'd say Thich Nhat Hanh, but he recently passed, right? Oh, Michael Singer. Yes, yes. Some of our YouTube favorites. Who are some of our YouTube favorites? Modern mystics, people that express that. Pardon?
Greg Braden.
Greg Braden, yeah. How about Joe Dispenza of that similar?
Aaron Abke.
Who?
Aaron Abke. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know that one. Okay.
Or the
Ooh.
Alchemist.
Okay, shout out some more,
Oh,
Kate.
yeah,
There you
I
go.
don't know. A lot of them don't use their first names, but Aaron uses his first name.
Okay. How about Richard Rohr?
Richard Rohr.
Yeah. Thomas Hübl. He's German. I might be mispronouncing his last name.
Thomas More.
Thomas More. Ooh, Susan Giesman. There you go. Hey, good morning. Welcome. Hi, Anna. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that's okay. Have a seat. Welcome to Tisha and Anna. Come on in. Hey, we're just shout out your favorite modern mystics like Carolyn Meese.
Oh, yeah.
Say that again. Ah, Sadhguru. Who is it?
Christina Lopez.
Christina Lopez.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. Oh, yeah, let's get some artists and musicians in the crew here. Yeah.
Actually, he's a prophet.
So you came in just in time, right? It's perfect. A real nice author that I love to, I actually read her book, is Mirabai Starr, Starr. She's a modern mystic. Again, still alive. Marianne Williamson.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Say that as well, the co-founders of Unity.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. We just said that right before you walked in. Adi Ashante. Ram Das, he's still alive.
Yeah. No, he's passed.
Oh, did he pass?
Yeah.
Oh no.
He's still
Shoot.
alive.
Prayers for Ram Das.
Just on another dimension. Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
That's right. They haven't passed too far.
Absolutely. Muji.
Muji, yes. Yes. Another one. Any last ones? One more? Eckhart Tolle. Yeah. So we have a lot of examples. Yeah, a lot of examples. But you don't have to be a famous YouTuber or a Buddhist monk, or you don't have, that doesn't have to be. We are each modern mystics, at least in moments, right? Right?
Momentary modern mystic.
That's right. Momentary is good. That's good. That's the opening. We can build on that. So what do these modern mystics say about this as me state? Before you guys walked in, we reviewed the to me, the by me, through me, and now we're doing as me. All right. So Eckhart Tolle said, realize deeply that the present moment is all you have. Realize that the present moment is all you have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. Right? And he wrote a book by that title, right? So he's all about awakening from the slumber of the ego and embracing in the eternal now. Thich Nhat Hanh, he said, we are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. And he invites us to recognize the interconnectedness and the interdependence of all beings. And he calls that interbeing. That's kind of one of his things, like little slogans that he talks about. So we've got this aspect of the now, and we have this aspect of interbeing. What else as modern mystics? What do they have to say about their experience? Well, there's this notion of non-dualism. And Dr. Maya has been working on this, right? You'll be hearing more about this. Non-dual reality invites us to shed that illusion of separation. But it's only an aspect of being a mystic, right? And it shows up a lot in the philosophy and the language that we use, this non-dualism. So what's non-dualism? So how many of you have grandkids or had kids and you read the books that have all the opposites? So they learn the opposites, black and white, happy and sad, yeah, hot and cold. Everything in this world and this experience has an opposite. And this is kind of recognizing that those are ends of a spectrum. And there's not really, if you take the higher perspective or different perspective, it's not really what's behind those forms. It's not really a choice like that. It's not really categorizable. And there's a lot written about this, but it mostly for me, I have noticed it in my language. And I tried editing a talk when, what was that, last week or the week before? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a lot more than just editing. Standing in the place of as me just changes everything, changes the whole perspective. That's why a lot of these mystics are like, just try to drop your thingness, try to drop your timeness, your judgmentness, and shift into another, well, and even they call it another dimension, shift into another dimension. So in the heart of non-dual reality is that profound sense of oneness, but that unity consciousness.
Could it also be shift into the dimension you are?
Shift into the dimension you are. Well, yeah, as me is you and that dimension are one, right? And we're not necessarily these forms. And we had a role in manifesting everyone in the room and the seats we sit in and the stained glass that we enjoy, the things we don't like, as well as things we do like. We have a role in it because this is the divine as me. We are the same. I'm not just an expression. I'm not just a channel. You got to stand in the responsibility and the power. There's no escape that then if it's God as me, I am responsible for my breaking my foot then, right? And I don't want to admit that. I might want to not think of that at all. It means I have some sort of a role in child trafficking. We went to see that movie. I was like, oh my God. It's easy, and I want to think, oh, that's those people over there. Well, no, God as me perspective is I am responsible for everything that I'm noticing in the environment. My personal belief is it's co-created with the divine and everybody else. I don't think this is just a TV projection, but those are conversations, deeper conversations for another time, right?
So if I have responsibility for child trafficking, then it's also on me to take loving action,
Yeah,
to help
yeah. And there's so many different ways to help, right? All kinds of things, climate change. I mean, there's so many issues. It doesn't mean you have to be protesting all the time. There's a lot of different ways to help. But the first step is that's part of me. It's if I'm noticing it, it is part of me.
I spotted, I got it.
Yep, I spotted, I got it. That's a good way. Yeah, it's a good way to think about it. It's a good way to think about it.
Not just I got it, but I got it.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad you came today. This is good. So another great mystic, not an ancient mystic, is Rumi. And he captured this essence when he said, you're not a drop in the ocean. You're the entire ocean in a drop. You're not a drop of the ocean. You're in the entire ocean in a drop. It's experiencing itself as the drop, as you. And we have to hold those concepts at the same time, which is the art of it. So in these words from these mystics, we find the core of non-dual living, the understanding that the vastness of the universe resides within each of us. We are the vast self. We are the vast self. And that's, I like those words, vast self, brings it down to what we're experiencing. So what's it like to live each moment in this mystical non-dual reality? We can choose to elevate the mundane to the sacred. We can choose to uncover the divine in the ordinary. We can choose to recognize the eternal in the moment, in the fleeting moment. We can choose to sense the beauty in every breath, in every step, and in every encounter. Every encounter. Even the ones we don't like encounters, right? We can choose to sense the beauty. And Adyashanti beautifully expresses this in his quote, enlightenment is, and this is like, how do you get there? Part of the process is this. Enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming a better being or being happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seeing through the facade of pretense, and it's the complete eradication of everything we imagined to be true. Wow. Is there any reason that we don't, at least I don't stay in the as me very much. My moments are like, oh my God, the responsibility.
Momentary mystic.
But I am, yeah, momentary mystic. Let's make those moments longer and longer. So let's do a little bit more. What are the key characteristics of mystics? All right. Direct experience. So they often emphasize the importance of a personal experience. It's not things they read about or heard from other people, although that's all good, but they actually experience something ineffable, something they couldn't describe, something that, or they could feel firsthand and know in their heart, body, mind, and soul that they are one with the divine. And non-dual consciousness, we talked about that, being able to withhold the judgment and categorization that's built into our language. It's built into how we live in this world. But being in this, that's the one that perplexes me the most, right?
Non-judgment.
This non-dual consciousness in the normal world of everyday life, staying in non-dual consciousness. I would love to do more of that, master that more. To me, that's my area. Spiritual insights. Mystics may receive profound insights, wisdom, and revelation when they're connected and sense that connection to the divine. And they bring it back and share it with us on YouTube and in books. Ecstatic states. All right, ecstatic states.
Oh, the whirling dervishes.
Whirling dervishes, dancing. It could be ecstatic states, not moving. It could be in meditation.
Sitting under a tree.
Yeah, sitting under a tree. So many different ways. So states of ecstasy, bliss, or a sense of joy, profound joy and peace. And if you listen to or read the book by the interview with Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama about joy, they don't really describe it as an ecstatic state, but they talk about joy being a practice and joy being kind of a practice that creates a condition of joy that's always available to us, even though we might not feel it every day. So I thought it's more than just this whirling dervish, although that's certainly a way to get there, right? Yeah, but these are about experiences that transcend the limitations of ordinary human emotions, this sort of transcendent state. So I had a friend that went to a Joe Dispenza workshop, like a 5-day workshop. And at one point, after a bunch of preparation, he had them rappel off a 10-story building.
We did that in Toronto on the CN Tower.
Now, there you go. That could be totally fearful. That's the point of it.
They did it.
Yeah.
If you say for Joe Dispenza CN Tower, you'll find it's
Yeah.
amazing. The participants.
Yeah, so when all the participants go to the top of a 10-story building and rappel down with support and safety and all that.
After a few days of
After 4 days of meditation. But when you get to the bottom, you're ecstatic.
Yeah.
When you get to the bottom, you're ecstatic. When you walk and you go, who's that guy? Tony Robbins. I don't know if he still does it. He was famous for making people walk on coals in his workshops. Oh my. I haven't done it. But when you get to the other side, you're ecstatic. So going through stuff, is part of it. So these are the ecstatic states. A couple more things. Mystics report that they have contemplative practices, meditation, prayer, reflection, self-inquiry, contemplation. They're deepening their connection. And what, for me, it's shamanic practices and shamanic drumming, meditation, prayer, being outside, communing with nature. It's important to have some practices and to actually do them. Yeah. Integration of spiritual insights. So not just having this cool experience, or 2 or 3 or 4 momentary mystical experiences, but integrating in what you learned, those emotions, that way of thinking, those experiences, trying to experience it more and trying to integrate your learnings from it, glean the wisdom into your daily life. And that's what a lot of the books of the people that we mentioned early on are about, that, how to bring that into your daily life.
That's the fifth principle of unity.
Yeah.
Truth must be lived.
That's right. That's one of the principles, which are on the hallway down to the ladies' room. If you want to take a look at that and remind yourself of the 5 principles. Yes, live the truth in our daily life, making it very practical. And then the last one, emphasis on love and compassion. Love, compassion, and selflessness are central aspects of our spiritual journey. And that's kind of the motivation behind doing all this stuff. Sounds like a lot of work, right? And it is, right? That's right. But to get to that love and compassion, sharing with others, self and others, I think that's really important. Well, I happen to find the infamous 30-item survey. There's an 8-item, there's a 40-item, there's a 30-item survey of mystical experiences. And I'm going to have you guys take a look at this. These are, I've turned it into signs. It's not a test. These are signs that you might be having mystical experiences. Either 30 signs you might be having mystical experiences. This comes from the work in the 1960s when they were legally studying LSD and other,
You gotta love the 60s.
yeah, other, consciousness enhancing drugs. But where did they get this information? They got it from asking spiritual leaders and gurus, tell us about, what's happening, because they had a suspicion that these plant medicines and synthetic medicines for getting people there were similar to these guru mystical experiences, right? The feeling of enlightenment that people were trying to go for. So that's the kind of the root. There's a couple of these scales in the research, and these are being used today, these scales. There's a recent one that got it down to 8 measures. I have a PhD, so I looked at all this research and I was like, hey, that's a pretty cool thing to share right there.
Cool that they could reduce it down to.
Yep. Those are the 30 items. You can get it down to 8. Well, but look at the headings, right? This is similar to what I was just sharing with you. These first 15 are mystical experiences that have nothing to do with hallucinogens. They come from other walks of life across faith traditions. Then the next group are all about the mood. How does it feel? Have you experienced amazement? Have you experienced awe or awesomeness? How about feelings of joy and ecstasy? How often do you feel some of these things? And so use this as these are indicators of mystical experiences. How am I doing? Or did I have any today? Did I have any last week? How do I, don't score yourself or anything like that, but how am I doing? What do I need to do to experience more of this more often? Gloria.
These are all the characteristics of people who've had near-death experiences.
They
A
are.
lot of them were agnostic, atheists.
Isn't it interesting? So Gloria, for those online, Wilma and Maya, Dr. Maya, Gloria mentions these are aligned with the near-death experience.
That's terrific that you recognize that right away, Gloria. I didn't.
So we've got the mystical, the moods, we've got the transcendence of time and space. And then this last one's interesting because this gets at that language challenge, ineffability. How do you describe this? It's not part of normal everyday consciousness.
Well,
Not yet, anyway.
that sounds like all the last 3 are really near-death stuff to me.
Because it can't be described, feeling that you cannot do justice to your experience, describing it in words, feeling it'd be difficult to communicate your own experience to others who've not had similar experience. Yeah, how could you possibly? So have fun with this. Right? Modern mystics. You were like, well, I like to start with the end in mind, right? So here you go. Here's the end researched over the course of my lifetime, right? Over the course of my lifetime, this is proven to be true, still used. Dr. Maya, did you want to say something? You just have to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
I am delighted. I'm delighted you're taking us into it. And no, I'm fully there with you, right next to you.
Thank you. I know that.
People might have access to this.
Yeah, you know what? I will send this 30-item signs of mystical experiences out to Dr. Maya so she can put it in the next e-bulletin so that y'all have access to it.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. All right, so signs that you might be a mystic. So one of the things that I like to do is create an experience for you. So we're gonna take a little 5-minute guided meditation. And let me just set it up for you. And maybe you'll touch into some of these characteristics. When you're done, you could look at the sheet and say, oh yeah, I got a couple of those things. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll just be a nice, relaxing guided meditation. But I have my drums. You all were given a drum wash. Did I get everybody? Pretty sure. No, I didn't get Letitia or Anna, but I'll get you on the way out. Everyone's had a drum wash. The sanctuary has been purified. It's already always in beautiful shape, but I just kind of uplifted the energy. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to guide you to your favorite place in nature, your favorite safe space in nature. And we're going to invite a spirit friend, could be a plant, animal, could be a loved one, could be an angel, a son to master, could be a modern mystic or an ancient mystic. It's all good. Whoever it is shows up is for you. And they are going to take you on an experience. They're just taking you on a journey. They're taking you for a walk on the wild side, right? And you may see something, you may visualize it, you may hear it, depending on how everybody senses different ways. You may not see anything and just hear it. You may not see or hear and just know it. You may be physical. Like one of my best favorite teachers, Sandra Ingerman, she doesn't see or hear. She knows an inner knowingness, and she feels like she'll feel a bear brush against her, you know, like she's totally kinesthetic. All right. So there's so many different ways. And this, it's okay if all you do is sit and just relax too. That's all good. All right. So let the drum beat be what brings your brain into a different gear, into a different state of being. Just follow the drum. Let it be what they call the driver. Our brains can entrain very easily to the beat of a drum, and I'll be doing it at the rate that's proven to help get you into a shifted consciousness, a higher consciousness. All right, here we go. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Take 3 of those. Put down anything in your hands, relax in your seat, or I see Anna is laying down on the floor, also recommended, in the back there. So relax your body. And we'll just say with me in your imagination, our intention is to journey to our favorite place in nature in the upper world. And we're going to invite a spirit friend to take you on a journey. So we're journeying to the upper world, to your favorite safe place in nature, and inviting a spirit friend to take you on a journey. 3rd time, we're journeying to the upper world, to your safe favorite place in nature, and we're inviting a spirit friend to take you on a journey. And here we go. Take that deep breath in. Feel your body relaxing. And picture or imagine or sense, hold on, or feel. Put yourself in your favorite place in nature. Sense it with all of your senses, your sense of smell, your look around, sense of touch. What's your skin feel like? Do you feel the breeze? What's the temperature? Take a deep breath in and see if you can smell the air. What plants are around you? What's the taste in your mouth? And what do you hear? We've invited a spirit friend to join you here. There may be more than one. Look around. They may be right in front of you, or you might have to go to them. Ask if they're your spirit friend. If they're not, go to another one. And let them take you on a journey, on their back, holding your hand, whatever form it is. Ask them to take you on a journey. And you'll have a few minutes here for your journey before I call you back. nature. Now look at your sheet and see if you can check off a couple more boxes. Thank you for playing along with that and participating. I'm so going to miss drumming for you. But maybe I can join you online and we can do some more work with the drum virtually. Yeah. And I encourage you to get some drums. Oh my gosh, yeah. Wouldn't that be cool? We could have a whole little drumming circle. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, modern mystics, are you committed to having a few more moments in your day of mysticism and maybe stretching those out as far as you can? And those of you who are really good with words, like I know Elise's and Anna and others, help me with the non-dualism language. There's got to be a better way. We'll get there. We'll get there. I know Dr. Maya is working on that too. All right, Dr. Maya, back to you.
Okay. This was wonderful, and I really mean it. I think that if we can put out the word to the people in the sanctuary, if any of the people there are willing to become not on the level that, of course, Reverend Chris is being a drummer, but to be able to do the drumming, the cleaning and clearing of the space, and do whatever. We have a drummer among us. So this is one of my affirmation and my prayers, that we will have an emergence of a drummer in our Sunday ministry team. So I'm putting out the word, I'm putting out the invitation that this is an emergence. The time for us to step into our opportunities to give. I'm putting up, yeah, everybody's on gallery here. I'm seeing you people in the sanctuary. Will you join me in taking our gift, our donation, and also the giving that goes on in your generosity toward your life, toward what is the mystical path, the gift of this morning. So we have this blessing, and if you would join me, we'll say together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I am first, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We say, we speak in the name of the living Christ. It is so. Amen. And I see that Susan is going around with the basket in our old tradition, which is lovely. And the announcement for this morning, I would like to ask Kate to make the announcement for her event this week. Kate, can you come up and let me stop the recording.